Now they don't necessarily have that, and on Haven, I think they really kind of stagnated when it came to what they could do with this Astra, and ultimately NRG, they were able to abuse the rotations, get the rotations to a T, cut off Immortals and Sentinels. Well, they're starting on the attack side. This was the weaker side of Immortals, the biggest display that they got to see, and now we'll have to see what can they do here in map number 1.
The road continues and ends here. Here we go. Sentinels and Immortals kicking off here on Haven. It's going to be an early pin from Immortals down in short A.
A lot of early contact, but it's a set of Immortals that are kind of winning this duel, at least in terms of map control, but Sentinels, they're kind of just baiting them. They're feeding them what they want. They know that Immortals, they want this contact. So Sentinels, they give it to them. When do they cut noise and try and re-exit? I'm not too sure just yet, but if they can win this fight, shot up around this corner, it's 4 players, and they don't check it.
Oh, they don't. Shot up. Just line them up. 1, 2, 10s and 6 go down. And the rest of Sentinels, they're still fighting the same position.
Oh, man. They've got to back away here. What do they do? A 3v5? I mean, look at Dapper's HP. 3 HP. How do you even try and recover out of this? So much shot up is just playing with them. Tap, tap. He takes the peek. He gets out of dodge. And now Sentinels, they waltz their way up here, but you're up against 3 players. Sonny, shot up, both in line. And same thing with Rossi. The 3 star players, the Sentinels get the take ready.
Shot up has a crossfire alongside Rossi. There's still one in heaven. Shazam stuck up in a corner, reloading. Oh, instantly right-clicked by Shot up. A stellar start here on Haven.
Yeah, clean from Immortals. That's exactly what you want to go up against Sentinels on their map pick. A map that they are infamous for, so nice start for Immortals, but can you keep it going? You want this second round to be clean. Make it your bonus. Ensure you've got credits to battle against Sentinels when they themselves get their own buy-ins. I think that's going to be the most important thing here. Sentinels, we're not going to see any major investments. We shouldn't see any major investments, at least. Whereas on the side of Immortals, they themselves are going to try and kind of balance their economy out. We see Stani going with a pistol, Shot up with a pistol as well. They're really trying to maximize the credits here.
Barely any investment at all. It's gonna be a little bit of a battle over towards alongside too. Zoms does take up that position, but again, the Spectres combine a little bit. Chemicals taking up one, still has that camera over on the C site. Nobody really peeking out just yet. Sick and Shazam already down to half, and in comes the taps from behind. JC Sandy with a farm, easy peasy. Oh, okay. Easy Sandy hitting up the aim lab for now. Zoms taking down Gangsta now in a 1v3. Does not have spike. Really just wants some economic damage, but it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, nothing there for Zoms. 2-0 start for Immortals. Unfortunately, it's not as clean as maybe they would have liked. Shot up isn't even able to pick up another gun from one of his stolen comrades. They keep 2 players alive, 2 reinvestments, so this should be another situation where Immortals, they can confidently turn this one into a bonus, but Sentinels, given the guns they're going to have, they should have the upper hand here. They should be able to convert this one, and then we go into the right first round. But no, JC Stani's going all in, man. He's picking up an operator, and Shot up is going to find himself on a Vandal too.
And he's got them all here. They've got them all looped.
Oh, no.
They could be walking into the jaws of the beast. Shot up, up close. Ben's heard it, and he immediately gets the shot in. And not only that, but the op is spotted. Oh, that he's here already. Here goes the recon bolt. And it's actually hitting JC multiple times. It's going to hit him again. JC is getting spotted, stuck up against the corner. Sentinels, they've played time to a T.
Yeah, they've immediately backed away. Dapper's throwing this cage up in a trip to ensure that no one can get the aggression. No one can push through while breaking the trip, and there's only one player here. It's going to have to come down to Chemicals to try and lock it. Thankfully, there's a rotation quick from Rossi. But they are storming their way up, and Chemicals, he's got a chance for multiple, but he has denied the opportunity.
Oh, Dapper and Tens, both combining onto Chemicals and Rossi, and those are the 2 pillars of the site. Done and dusted. Immortals now only down to 2, and the best thing that these 2 can do is honestly just save.
Yeah, I feel like JC Stani, it's maybe too big of a risk to even attempt with this operator, so you see him sitting in the back. Granted, Gangsta, he only came into this round with an Ares, so you're not really losing too much. It's a $1,700 or 1,700 credit investment, so nothing too major here. Sentinels, they pick up the first round, but more importantly, they keep all 5 players alive.
The most pivotal part, especially coming into a round 3 conversion. Your opponents essentially on the bonus. But again, JC Stanley just dipping so much into his economy, just off of a couple of frags, and still had the ghost, so he was still trying to buy a rifle anyways.
Right.
But man, it's still a tough situation. Gangsta. He's just trying to die off of this. Okay. Okay. At least get something in his favor back over towards him. And still couldn't get anything. He does go down for the economic advantage, though, so he can buy up a better rifle. JC Stanley still on the op saved up there.
Something I don't want to necessarily harp on too much is the fact that Gangsta, in that last map against NRG, I think only had like 1 or 2 kills. So it's not too big of a deal going to this series because obviously it's a different team, right? But the matter of the fact is that that's a mental hit. So we'll have to see,
Absolutely.
you know, kind of keep track of Gangsta's performance. Again, he is a support player. He's already doing phenomenal. 3 assists. That's all you really want coming out of your Sova. So the buyback here for Immortals. He's got the Odin, and we'll see what he can find. He's denied. But Stani with the collapse.
Whoa!
1 shot, 2 kills, and there goes Sentinels. It's both Tens and Sick.
All right, JC Stanley. That's quite the way to shut down a little bit of momentum. Oh, baby, a collat still. Immortals of 1 person over towards the back of B. Rest of Sentinels. Line at least 2 up in the mid B side. You still have Shazam lining up garage.
Yeah, and look at this star as well for Rossi. He's gonna pit around that. Wow, what a very well-timed grab. Well, delays him just a little bit, and I don't say no. He should get a free kill, and yes, he does.
Yep, no, he can stay in these kind of cheeky positions, especially at the man advantage. Certainly Sentinels can't do all too much. They can't be too risky. Instead, they're being all too safe. Zoms has actually backed off and on his way off. He ends up getting a kill. Shazam. He's walked through. JC Stanley. No way, no way. JC Stanley's still here. And Shazam hasn't even cleared sight yet. If Shazam had just taken a couple of extra steps, it would have been all his. That recon ball doesn't spot Rossi at all, but Rossi doesn't actually get any picks. So still just about 20 seconds left. Shazam is gonna plant right in front of B-Link. And he goes right on back towards the corner. Rossi doesn't know.
He knows.
No, he doesn't. Oh, well, now Chemicals knows. 1v1 Chemicals! Still shuts it down off the 1v1. And yes, Shazam knew that he was there. Both players in sticky positions. They both made it work, at least to an extent. Chemicals is the one that puts a stamp on the round. Immortals with a 3rd.
Oh, so close for Shazam. And I was saying he knows because, dude, he read that perfectly because he planted, he went for the plant for backside. So what that means is that if he taps the spike, he knows that that Rossi's going to be in garage window. If he were to go for the spike plant, Rossi would have swung him. He knew he would have just swung him from defender's function. He's going to caught him with the spike going down, but he doesn't. So Shazam knows where the last 2 players are. It came down to just a couple of bullets, but Immortals picked themselves up a 3rd, but it's not without cost. Both teams taking heavy hits. Sentinels, they've still got a buy here. We're moving it around number 5. 2 buys in a row. Good for us.
More action.
Exactly.
Is all I'm hearing. Couple of players over towards C main. In comes the run it back. Whole lot of util, but Immortals, they have completely abandoned the C side. The plant will be able to go down.
Yeah, Sika's gonna get all this space. They haven't really checked out garage, so the retake is really strong here from Immortals. You imagine Sentinels are gonna have to back away, play off that Hunter's Fury and play off those shock darts. But no, Tend and Dapper are sticking around. They're banking on that single ultimate that they've got, and Immortals are taking their time.
Might not exactly be optimal.
Oh, no.
Up close and personal, taking on a little bit of a spray down, and indeed Chemicals capitalizes and takes him down.
Whoa.
Here comes JC Stanley. Tokyo drifting on 3rd, catching on 2. Dapper, however, still holding on to his own position.
He's got it.
Him 2 frags. Okay, there
Shock
goes
dart.
the shock dart right on through. Shock dart not gonna connect, but instead Gangsta right through the nebula. Snags Shazam, and wow, I could not believe that Shazam survived for so long. Still a couple of bullets through, just trying to aim for that diffuser. Nothing went down. So instead, another round back in the favor of Immortals.
Yeah, nice calm and composed execution or retake for Immortals. This is a much more different Immortals than what we saw against NRG. 4-1 right now. And look at that. Look at our boy Gangsta. He's got 2 kills already. He's doing a lot better now.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go, Gangsta.
Then you look at JC Stanley.
he's 8-1. It's like, oh, okay. Well, the performance isn't that much. But again, Gangsta, he's rock solid right now. He's really getting a hold of these rotations and shot up. Okay. Is this Spoon?
He's still going. Ten's just dashing on in, just trying to farm up a couple of frags on site, but not able to get too much. Good trade back from Dapper, though. You know, JC Stanley, the Neural Theft. To spot out both players in the mid side, and the Owl Drone is still trying to chase. As Shazam gets pinged again. He gets like triple pinged, actually. He gets pinged twice by the Owl Drone, and he gets pinged once by the neural theft. A little bit unfortunate, but Shazam's position is more than known once again. He has elephant feet. Rossi hears all of this, but the spike does go down at the same time over on A.
Yeah, but Shazam has got a gun here, man. Rossi, you need to win this fight. 3 stars available. He decides not to take it. Gangsta's going to find Dapper in the backside. It's up to the 2 of them. It's a 2v3. I would even say essentially a 2v2, but they are going to wait. They're going to allow Rossi to make that rotation and ensure they have a 2v3, and they're even committing the Cosmic Divide.
Sick. Has the line of sight. Takes down Chemicals. Good grab well. But Sick is still here with the Ares. The Ares lines up. Now it's just so clean. Taking down both the Rossi and Gangsta in the 1v2. Sentinels are back in it off of a thrifty round.
That boy Cole, man. Shazam missed out on the first 1v2. He's not going to miss out on the second opportunity. 2 to 4 Sentinels. That's great, man. They do all of this pulling. Tens. Dude, Tens' presence alone is enough to shift an entire team to one site. And in the meantime, Sick is just waltzing his way up on A. He's doing his little dancey dance. He gets the spike down, and Sentinels, with the guns they had picked up from the bodies, they pick up the round. 4 to 2 Immortals. Look at the buy now. They've had to invest so much. Every single round has been a burden in terms of buys. Oh my.
Oh my. Stanny alongside.
Oh! You're kidding me. You're kidding me.
I can't. What am I watching? JC Stanny. Again, this man is so cold. He gets himself a massive one over along. Same thing with one of his teammates. Immortals now in a 2-man advantage. Chemicals just wants to chill in garage. Psalms has eyes on it. Can't exactly tempt it. Look at Immortals now. Look at the read. 2 players here on the B side lined up. There goes a Nebula, though. Covers one up. Gangsta just wants to hug back wall. And wants to peek him, and he's going to get him. All right, that's big. And not only that, but the link is smoked off. So this could just be a plant for them.
Yeah, Gravel will at least buy them a couple of extra seconds. Star down. Sick watching their flank, ensuring they don't have to worry about that. Spike needs to go down here. I mean, Zombs has got a Cosmic Divide. So honestly, it's not out of the question or the 3v4. Obviously, it's not, given the guns they've got, but you know when you're at a disadvantage, guys, you got to create your own opportunities, and Zombies has found one.
Oh my god, 10 still finds 2. And there you go. This is what we expected, at least from the anti-eco. A couple of bodies, and the rifles are able to just grind them out pretty easily. Rossi with the Bucky, actually able to get another one. But 10 stat padding a little bit, 4 kills in his favor. Sentinels back with a 3rd.
Right, and I was gonna say that maybe losing those 4 players losing those 3 players isn't gonna be too big of an issue, but it is. Dapper and Zombs, they're in a very tricky predicament where they can't get rifles. I mean, they're gonna have to be dropped by 10s, and even then, only one of them can get it. So 10s elects to drop Dapper. So it's a rough position to be in if you are Sentinels. Now you're going into this round with the lesser guns. Immortals have got everything they need. Operator in hand, JC Stani's got it, and he is lights out right now at 9-3. Sentinels, it's a pretty tricky round because this is a round that you need to win to not only tie things up, to at least keep your economy stable.
Economy isn't exactly stable for either one of these teams. This is definitely a tipping point. Sentinel's still waiting up. I do kind of like the disciplined look of this default because Immortals have more or less just been conditioned to face on a battle within the first couple seconds, or at least an approach. Off of this now, JC Stanny, still very antsy. I see if he can find a pixel. He does find one, but not able to get the kill into Dapper. Everyone's still alive.
Yeah, so JC Stanny's just going to have to play pivot here. I think if he's got shot up his backup. I think Sentinels were just trying to scout out the positioning of JC Stanny, right? Kind of get a feel as to where this operator is. You don't want to be waltzing down a long aim and then just have someone call at you again. And even Immortals, getting a couple players over to this A side. You saw Rossi have an attempted reposition, but no, nothing major. Gravwell here to support Chemicals. Or at least a star, could be a Nova Pulse. It's going to be one of the two, Gravwell or Nova Pulse. Chemicals is going to back out. There it is.
Ooh. Big for now, it does crunch off a lot of time. Again, 5v5. Everyone from Immortals rotating towards C. Chemicals here in a pretty good corner, but it's a one and done. Look at the lineup for Gangsta. He's only able to get one, but that's a whole lot of damage. Now JC Stanny runs out of the Nebula, just trying to delay that spike from even making it on site. But Sentinels, they still win it out, and Immortals, they go down in a heap. They didn't have the right manpower on site. I did like the angle, at least from Gangsta, and I think Chemicals, but I said before, those were one and dones.
I mean, it's honestly a pretty good attempt from Chemicals. Like, he's in a position where he can do a lot to delay. He's got a
Off
trip
of the
top
panic,
C-long.
like that's a pretty
right,
good
exactly.
spot.
I mean, the setup for Immortals is that they can stack heavy to the A side and have time to rotate, right? Chemicals at all the util down. The timing is just a little unfortunate. Sentinels do a good job of working their way on the site, and that was the round that I mentioned that Sentinels needed to win to not only tie things up, to keep themselves stable economically, and well, they've done that. It's against 5 sheriffs, and well, Sentinels have stormed the site once more.
Woo, sick with a run it back. Has to run it all the way back. But that still is a kill. Back on to JC, super clean. Because that side in, still sheriffs. The only thing that these players from Immortals can really depend on. There's 2 in garage, all 3 actually in garage real quick. Gonna be all too much though. Sick alongside a couple of players. They're all crossfired essentially into garage. Yeah. Immortals is just trapped.
What do you really do here if you are Immortals? You've even got a grapple just in case towards the defender spawn. Sick. This is a pretty nice farm for him. Just get as many ult orbs as you can moving forward. But Sentinels, yeah, they're gonna take the lead back here. It's much more close game, a little more congested. As Sick will find his 3rd. It's pretty good for him. I mean, he's just getting ult charges back towards that ult. He's always been so good off the run it back, so good at entering. And if you can get this last one, it'll be a huge victory for Sentinels. As he'll only need 3 more to get the run it back again. And yeah, Sick is gonna get it. 3 more charges, and we've got another run it back online.
Yet another. Could just happen in a little bit. Great round from Sick, just padding up the old points alongside Dapper. But now you have 10s, Shazam, Zoms. I mean, just Jet and Sova alone have 2 of the most aggressive ultis that you could possibly get. Shazam is going to be so pivotal off of a post plant going forward, even just sweeping up a site and just trying to clear out for his team. So much versatility that could happen here. Same with the Cosmic Divide. This next map, or not next map, this next round, still very much important for Immortals to try to take back.
Right, of course it is. And JC Stani, he knows the impact, or at least the importance of this round. He's elected to go for an operator. Shazam's Owl Drone is actually going to bait out the tripwire, so they kind of have to turn a blind eye here, at least Immortals, right? They need to try and back this area up, because now they don't know if they could be walking up short. They only have a trip from middle of sight, and so 2 players are here. It's going to be Chemicals, and it's going to be Rossi. Stars at the ready to try and delay. Cosmic Divide out here. It looks like from Sentinels. They're getting ready to go. A quick dash, and there goes that Hunter's Fury.
Hunter's Fury, and Shazam does catch Rossi. A pretty good aim, too. Chemicals holding up tight, but it's 10s to try to strike him down from a very tight angle. Still, JC Stanny quickly on site. As he usually does. He's probably like the fastest person to even get on a side off of a rotation. But it ends up becoming a little bit of a detriment. But you can see the flick just from Shazam's point of view. Shot up. That was pretty cool to say the least. We still gotta go though. 2v4. And it does look like Shot Up lining up in a pretty decent position, potentially in terms of exits. They're still trying to find position in terms of Aldrone and Dapper. Okay, but Sick takes him down. Okay, Shot Up is here, trying to go for the defuse. So a little bit of a fake. Does have 10s towards that backline over long, and it's gonna take him down.
Nice and clean coming out from Sentinels. A little bit messy, I will not lie, towards the end, but a nice clean execution, very basic, very sound. You give Shot Up maybe a little bit, I think, too much of an opportunity. You're gonna hurt maybe a little bit economically, but overall, Sentinels with these last 6 rounds that they've been able to pick up, or these last 5, they're all good. They are chilling right now. Immortals, they are the ones that really are gonna be struggling for these last 2 rounds of the half. I think this is a tricky predicament because it looks like they're going for a force. But if you lose this round with the lesser guns, you don't. I honestly hate to say it, but you really don't stand a chance going up against Sentinels with their full buy and your half buy.
Yeah, this should just be an all or nothing type play from Immortals. I mean, it even pains me to say so because, man, they're just not in a position to do so. To really go for a risk like this. And look at Sick off that running back again. Oh, that recon bolt. Barely in time catching him. It didn't ping him. That would have just been him gone off the trade. But even then, still a couple of frags back onto Immortals. Shot Up and Rossi both down. Went over towards the mid side. And that's just the individual battles. You want to be a hero in these type of half buy rounds, but we're just not seeing that. Sick. So going up in his lonesome. What a madman. He just walks into like 3 players, but the rest of them are still fine. They're going into A.
Even if Sick goes down there, his goal is just to pull these players away, and he's done exactly that. The A site completely open. If you're Immortals, this is about exits. You may as well use up this Blade Storm, see what JC Stoney can get. There's even a trip watching, so it looks like Sick got a pretty good opportunity to maybe get another kill here again. I think at this point, it's all about charging up that ultimate, and here's a golden opportunity as he is able to get 2 more players around, but with 53 HP, I don't think he's going to be able to find all of them. But still, Sentinels, they find themselves 7-4 up going into this next half, guaranteed a 7-5. If they can get an 8th here, it's the awkward buy that Immortals have to work with in the last round of this half.
Oof. Could have at least saved up one of those rifles, but still nothing. Immortals, though, might have a little bit better of a basis. Most of their players going to be sacrificing a little bit of util, potentially armor for those rifles, but they can combine here, Sully, combine their efforts because now they have full ultis. This is still going to be very pivotal for Immortals to be able to make it back because now they just have the full tool set. Let's see how they utilize it. They actually have 3 players over towards the A side at the moment. JC Stanny joining them as he actually does play a little bit more of a pivot, very versatile. But let's see how this initially works out.
No, I mean, this is the site that Sentinels have been progressively hitting over and over again. And Immortals, they're going to early rotate. After having that 3-player stack, giving Stoney that control, they're going to slowly fade away, but now losing that control, it's up to Shot Up here to Hella trying to help reinforce him. But in reality, Sentinels, they're deathly quiet going into this B site. Rossi's got that grab well, but it's a quick exec, and Tens leaping into the site is good for the first.
Oh, Tens does it again, but still, Immortals quickly back into the links. There's smokes covering them up. Tens still has that backline, but Chemicals just wide swinging. Tens immediately off the trades, but he actually uses the Phantom to do so. JC Stanley spots out Tens in the back line, so that's big. So 3v3, nobody else in the back. But look at this. Zom's coming up big, but he ends up missing out on his shots. His secret position currently revealed. Shot Up wins out his battle. Zoms needs to re-aim, but it's not going to happen. Still Shazam, puts in a recon, spots out both, runs in, but the Cosmic Divide is so good in that spot. Forces him to reaggress, and that's the half. Well done from Immortals off the retake.
Yeah, that Cosmic Divide in that position is such a difficult one to face because if you have no flashes, there's nothing really to allow you to burst through that Cosmic Divide and get the jump on the players in the site. Obviously, it really did come down to Zoms on that flank. The one position you maybe don't expect in the one position that isn't obscured. He pulls the attention away. Next thing you know, 2 to 3 players are swinging on through. But Immortals, they make the best of a bad situation. They had a really hot start, don't get me wrong, but things kind of cooled off a little bit as Sentinels found their form. It was off of this 1v2 that Shazam had that really got them going, but hey, Immortals 7-5. It's not too shabby. A lot better than what we saw against NRG at least.
Yeah, certainly better. Certainly better. Good for them though. Good for them. As now they land up on that attacking side with the 5 rounds up. But no, I mean, just looking past it, you know, other than just like a 4 head more rounds.
Wow.
5-7 over Sentinels, and look how close that is. JC Staney going down to 10 HP off of what is just a reactionary shock dart just from around the corner. Look at Sick immediately off that rotation back in, and all 5 players opt to fight Sick and Dapper. Not a single one had actually dedicated themselves to the A take just yet, so they combine on the flank, and the flank might leave them open. Okay, look at the HP on JC Staney. It's gone. Ten's now going in, just dashing in with the frenzy. Zoms is here to try to hold off. Ten's is still alive, and they hold back the rotation, at least for now. The C site could potentially be taken, but Sentinels and Tens they end up getting the frags needed. Shazam in the mid side with a great peek. Rossi, the last one remaining in a 1v3. In a very similar spot to his teammate where he ended up going down. But now look at the HP across the server. 48 on Rossi. Similar to Zoms, 48. 22 on Tens. It's ease just the pistol round, but just a gust of wind should be able to do it.
Yeah, it's frenzies for both of them as well. But look at the spike plant. Is he going to try and re-aggress in the links? No, he's not. He's going to back away. Reposition, I think maybe he's trying to fake off. Yeah. He's going to be playing back in towards Under Heaven. But like you said, this HP is just so low. They've got plenty of time to clear up these corners. Tens is going to take the first fight. And yep, Tens does Tens things. He finds himself at 3K in the round, a hat trick. And Sentinels have the pistol.
And Tens was the most fragile one there. He was the one down to the 22 HP. him going for that peek. A little bit risky. But that's the pistol round. Back in the hands of Sentinels. Now they have economic supremacy once again. Immortals is going to struggle to even get a singular buy up on the board. They just want a little bit of util. They're actually forcing out a frenzy in the hands of Rossi, but Rossi got a kill to actually compensate for it. Otherwise, the Spectres should come into play all too easily.
And for your Immortals, it feels like it's deja vu, man. It's every single time that they're in a situation where they're down, like, it's like 10 rounds for the opposing team, and they're down. Something
like that.
And then you've got to, like, win it out. But thankfully, they're not in that position just yet. However, it could happen very soon. The next round, obviously, even if Immortals were to lose it, is going to be a bye here. Dapper picking up a lot of damage, but dealing out some as Sick with a quick click. Does find himself one in the back line. Same thing with Tens. They are holding it down.
Tens with a fadeaway ghost, and okay, it's actually Tens to get another kill, and well, Sick takes out Rossi immediately. Well, that's a spike down right in front of Garage. King's, he shock darts. Super close to actually hitting, but just like that, it's gonna be over. So still 2 guns taken away from the hands of Immortal. Sick actually doesn't save up a rifle. Interesting. Not even the right. Sorry, not even a rifle. Doesn't even save up an SMG, but he has enough cash to buy up the rifle to try to reinforce this defense, and even Zom's reinvesting a little bit. Sentinels are just fully going for this. If they reset Immortals now, I mean, the roads are looking golden for them.
All right, at least for this first map, keep in mind, Ascent is the map pick of at least Immortals, so it's not over just yet. Sentinels, they've still got a long road to go, and I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but man, most of their series, at least so far, have been either close or just not in their favor. Thankfully, this map seems to be their way. It's a much more rejuvenated Sentinels I think we're seeing. Is Sick. What an early peek, gets a little bit of information, but decides to concede.
You don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but that is the bad news, unfortunately. Immortals still sticking up on that backside. They do take on a little bit of pressure from Garage, but they have fully taken that back in the hands of JC Stanny. Nice little Nebula, just cutting off a little bit of information. Once JC Stanny just walks out of there, the Nebula goes down at the same time. So all the information is just gone, but still the rest is Sentinels. Oh, just trying to pinch down on B as Immortals are here. Gangsta wins out the first battle against Zombs. Sick getting grab welled. Could allow the spike a little bit more time. Sick tries to run away from the knife, but JC Stanny playing a little game of cat and mouse just around the corner. Shot up actually takes down Shazam clean through the Nebula. There's still one more around the corner. I think JC Stanny might have heard one. I don't know if he did, but he still checked the corner anyways. Dapper goes down in a heap. Tens is now the last one remaining in a 1v5. Has an up to work with. It would be huge for Sentinels to try to hold on to it next round, because Sully, the investment this round from Sentinels was all too steep. Now they get left in this awkward situation.
Well, I think Tens is going to at least try and get some exits here, because it's the same thing with Immortals, right? You can't lose that many players, and Tens, he's got to fall back at least on his Blade Storm, but yeah, he wants to get out of there. At that point, there's too much pressure. He's going to get caught out by the trip, and he's even going to get exposed here. And from behind, Rossi takes him down and gives Immortals a 6th round, but Sentinels, it was just a bonus. Keep in mind, though, Tens, yes, he does lose that operator, but he's going to have something to fall back on. He would have had the Blade Storm, but, I mean, this position, he's going to have to use it, obviously. For the rest of his team, I thought they would have had a buy here. They've really got nothing for them.
Yeah, nothing at all. Like I said, it was all too risky, and even Shazam, who didn't invest, he's just stuck up with the frenzy at 3.7k. It's a very lavish frenzy, to say the least. But still, first of all, a challenge for the NSG Twitter account. Go back to when Tens was trying to run away, and make a tweet with like banjo music playing over it, just like stereotypical running away music. Thank you. Still, Immortals trying to at least take up a little bit of this A area with these rifles.
Oh, no.
But Tens, oh baby, Tens still back with the knives, taking up 2. But that's the extent of the damage. Nobody else from Sentinels is there to try to trade back. Not only that, but the Nebula is still up.
Okay, Nebula up, though. That's going to allow Zoms to creep through and pick up the rifle. They can even pick up a second here, as everybody here on Immortals has conceded this A control. So with Dapper alone, he only has a ghost, but they've got guns. It's a 3v3. Dapper is going to try and delay it, but it's not going to be much. Cages go up. He can't even take this fight. So Immortals get the plant down. But Sentinels with their guns, I mean, they've got 2 major guns, and they're going to even use the Hunter's Fury here to try and deny it.
Oh, Hunter's Fury coming in early too. Shazam just tried to go cross map. Doesn't work out. very pivotal part of that. If that Hunter Sphere ended up hitting the players in Garage, in quite a good spot for it. But wow, that grab well is just pulling them back behind the Cosmic Divide. The little rifle in the hands of Shazam alongside Dapper, the Ghost. They come back over towards spawn side. All three players sitting up in the pit, but Shazam doesn't have a singular one of those shock darts. Still the recon bolt hitting. Dapper is here. Shock dart hitting right on the spike. Yeah, they almost have no chance of Shazam, so catches one back. Dapper is there a little bit more elevated. That's some decent damage to the economy of Immortals, but that's still a dub.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say it's not going to hurt Immortals that much, mainly because they had a flawless round in that bonus situation for Sentinels, so they're chilling right now at least. But again, I mean, you can see the impact it's had. JC Stani had 5.6, now he's down to 1.8. So impact started to be had here, but it's not going to hurt them too much. If they can win this round, it'll stabilize them. They should have a bye at least, no matter what happens in this round. Sentinels, though, on the other hand, it's a little bit more of a different story, right? Operator again for 10s. They're buying down to their last bits, 800 credits between the 5 of them. Mass, it's 150 for each, and Immortals, they're looking to try and dispel that as Sick already up in their face with a run it back, and he's sent back.
Zoms is still here to try to help out. Sick with a curveball. They know where he is at least. Zoms still playing up that same angle. Hit both him and Zoms retreating at the same time. Well done. Mission impossible, and they're safe. Blaze wall up, and still no picks back and forth at all. Now they try to go through the blaze wall. Zoms in a good spot. Still trying to find a second. Indeed, he does. Dreaded out by Rossi. Shazam has the angle. Dapper dropping in right as Chemicals is walking right into his own cages. Okay, Chemicals. And the 1v2 can't pull it off. It's low drama thus far. The man advantages at the end of these rounds are very overwhelming, to say the least. And Sentinels this time are the ones to bear the bad news to Immortals.
Much cleaner round from Sentinels. I like how you kind of see a mix of Zoms and Sick getting aggressive, then deciding, okay, we need to peel away here. We can't get overly aggressive. Let's not overextend ourselves into this fight. So nicely done from the two of them. Sentinels pick up a 10th here. Immortals, like I said, they wouldn't have too many issues buying back. Obviously, JC Stani is the bigger issue, but he's going to drop over a rifle, and he's going to pick up the Blade Storm instead with half shield. Sick. Alongside 10s, they're comboing down for an aggressive mid-peak, and they have this control. And 10s is still looking to punish, but Hour Jones going to dispel that. And it will give Immortals a little bit more control, but it's all just a ruse. They've got the Ult Orb onto Shazam, who's charging up his Hunter's Fury, and Sick has allowed himself into the cubby. 10s is going to try and sell this bait.
This is big. Just 10s being that first contact. Are they going to dispel a little bit of fear from Immortals, or at least that's what they think? Sick, that's a great position, but still we got to pay attention now to Zoms.
Yeah.
As Immortals aren't exactly biting that bait.
It looks like Sentinels are starting to shift back just mainly because Dapper grabbed this camera from C-Long, and yeah, with that contact, Zoms is going to confirm it. But Gus, there are no flank trips. Sick, if he wanted to, could go all the way through, but instead, he's going to congregate back with the rest of his group, and they're going to try and take 5-on-5.
No flank trips. Instead, they have to maintain someone over towards that backline. JC Stani ends up getting a right click, but I swear to God, that would have killed. But 10s, he ends up getting headshotted, but he's still fine? I don't know. But still, 10s misses out too, but still the frenzy up close takes out JC Stani immediately. Good usage of the sidearm. Still a kill for Chemicals. Shot from Gangster right through the wall. Rossi with a peek. Sweeps him up at the end of things. Shazam and 10s go down. And Immortals are still fighting tit for tat against Sentinels.
Man, dude, Sick just got pulled away, or it might have been Shazam who had to clear under heaven, and Rossi takes that exact second where he's distracted, where nobody's looking his way to swing out and find a double from the backside of the default box. Immortals, man, 8-10. This is a lot closer of a map. I mean, we go back to the NRG game. I thought this would have been a stomp, but no, they're bringing on the heat. They knew they've learned from their mistakes against NRG. They fixed everything up. And Sentinels, this game's a little bit too close. We're looking at possibly a one-round deficit given the bye that Sentinels have got.
Well, yeah, this one just has to be a cleanup. Immortals already faced on a whole lot of damage from that last round. Same thing with the round before to their economy. So they can't really afford to give up too many frags here. here, but Zom's in a great position, gonna be able to get one solo run around the corner. Rossi doesn't go for the trade, so instead the shorty can still go big. 76 HP, has to go for Chemicals, but Chemicals still gets the kill. Shazam and Tens both collecting some. The sidearms are working, Sully, the sidearms are working. Rossi still down to 39 HP, goes down to 10.
Not like this.
Chemicals, 1v3. Spike is down all the way on the open. Curveball in, Cage covers up. Tens just trying to shoot through.
Shorty, it's a shorty.
Shorty! Sick big short work of Chemicals and finishes off the round. You saw the word on your screen, folks. It is thrifty. We got an eco round back for Sentinels at the exact time that they needed it.
No way, Immortals, dude. They've lost 2 thrifty rounds in this map alone. One against NRG to close out the series, and one here against Sentinels. Now, that's definitely not the nail in the coffin. Not just yet. Sentinels still with 2 more rounds, and Immortals, they've still got to buy back. Yes, it's a little bit weak, but it's everything they can muster. They put it all on the line. The loss bonus is no longer in their favor. And Sentinels, this is the round they've got to do it. 1 more to go to find 12, and with Immortals by, we could be looking at a map 2 where Sentinels have got the lead.
It's funny, I think I might have jinxed it. I said that Immortals' economy had to stay really stable in that last round. They couldn't afford to take up like more than 2 kills. But this time, they're really feeling the effects from it. Still fine though. The Hunter's Fury being used up early. That's that post-plant advantage, a little bit out and away, but Gangsta still taking up a man advantage. But not only does he get the kill, but a player has actually gone in and replaced that exact same position. This leaves A side a little bit more open. Tens has to go for that first pick. Doesn't get anything just yet. That recon bolt gonna spot him out. Has to go back. And same thing with the rest of Immortals.
It's Chemicals here. He's the lurk over towards the B side. Immortals, they know that the BA side should be open. Grab will down from Zoms. He's gonna try and delay. 45 seconds left. The spike will be going down, but it's Dapper. Dapper with a swing, but Dapper denied by Rossi. Shazam's trying to deny as well. He's good for 1, but is it gonna be enough in the 3v4? Spike down. The retake is certainly on.
Good enough for quite a bit of damage. Tens is gonna get locked out by the Cosmic Divide, and yeah, that Cosmic Divide is way too tough to try to fight up on that A link, and it's perfectly placed. There's still 2 players behind it. Shazam, however, good flank right onto Chemicals. Now they both make their way out of the Cosmic Divide right when Zoms looks away. Are you kidding me? The timing, Zoms is just too unlucky. Gangsta right on top of the spike. Nobody knows it yet. Both approaching. Zoms and Astral feeling. Yeah, there you go. Astral form and Shot Up combines, taking down Tens, and Shot Up comes in and helps with 2. Wow. That Astral form to put up the Cosmic Divide might have just given Immortals back that round, but you can't really put it on him. You still had another player around the corner. You still had Tens. Immortals still shutting it down, kill by kill at the end of the 3v2.
Tricky work from Sentinels there. I mean, very well done from Gangsta. You said it. He's stuck in that corner. He's on the spike, and nobody knows it. Nobody did know it. He took the opportunity, took a gamble, and went to peek, and he found Zoms hood over his head, and not ready for it at all. Immortals, they gotta buy back. That was the round that they needed to win to get their economy up. And Sentinels, again, the war of attrition. They are feeling the heat economically. They are hurting, and Immortals, an opportunity to find 10 here and send Sentinels back down the Dell drums in turn of their monies.
Their monies, their economies, all this. The money. Still though, Rossi on the corner, gonna be able to take down Sick. Wanted to be a bit of a hero.
Yeah, I think he cleared out that corner with his hot hands, and he didn't get the right angle on it, unfortunately enough. And now with Immortals, I like this. First kill, but they take things patiently. They know they don't have A control. They know they don't have C control, so they're just going to sit and wait. Draw rotations around the map from Sentinels, but nobody is budging. I think at this point, the best option is a B hit, but I think maybe they're playing their cards where they could re-exit into either site. But given the time here, given this positioning, it has to be a B hit to close out this round at least. And Shazam is the only one that lies in wait. And he's just got the $1,600 gun. He's just got a Spectre.
30 seconds left.
2 players with Spectre. Shazam is the one closest in terms of proximity. Tens does have that AWP, but that Nebula is going to take forever for it to dissipate. But now Zoms making his way in, knows that there's one. And that's at least one.
Wow,
There's
there's 3.
snipers, and it's a crossfire. Chemicals takes him down. And there's 3 players and snipers. I mean, that's almost unheard of off of the post plant, but they're all just trying to stay safe in this one uniform position. Shot up, still taking down Dapper. Right into garage. And the best thing that Tens and Shazam can do is go back, save, potentially get an exit or two. Well done from Tens with time. Yeah, no, I was about to say good timing on that one. He's still looking for more. Shot up with a good angle. And he actually goes down to 6 HP. Tens still heating up more and more. Ross here on the corner with a Phantom. And he goes down to Shazam. Trying to get the rifle back, but still around for Immortals. There's still just a couple of players in that round, but that's not exactly a problem. What is a problem is the economy of Sentinels. Do they want to dip all of that cash into this round? If they lose here, Sully, it gives Immortals a red carpet to 12.
Yeah, I mean, Immortals, both teams are hurting economically. I mean, Sentinels have done it on Thrifty Buy. This is a little bit better than that. Ten still's got his Operator. He's got a Blade Storm. Sika's got to run it back. This is not a round that I think Immortals should be taken lightly, or no one should be thinking that this is going to be an easy round. Stars out already. Rossi uses his grab well and his Nova Pulse early on. We're going to see Sentinels take a much more passive approach. Let that op kind of do its thing out towards long. You've got full A control. I think that's the biggest thing right now. And Sick in this corner. He gets a kill. He feels the pressure, backs up, uses the run it back to try and regain control. But with a minute 10 left, he decides to concede. And once more, Immortals, they work their way back up towards mid at the front in the mouth of the B-bomb site.
Here we go. A couple of players from Immortals still lining up this mid side. You do have a little bit of attention and info starting to be taken up by Sentinels. But still, as patient as always. Tens around the corner. Chemicals.
Canceling.
Yeah, no, good time. But even then, Tens, he has to go all the way back to A. But now they know that he's there. Shot up is there. He knows that he dashed, but still Zombs from behind. Zombs was in a good position. Dapper does take down one, down low on HP, but still Rossi, Shot up, Chemicals, all winning out their battle. Tens uses up his dash to make his way into the A side as quickly as possible, and it ends up being the detriment. He's not there to try an attempt to help the B site. Instead, it's all in the hands of Immortals. 11-11, Sully.
Man, dude, I can't believe Shot Up is the one to call that. He hears the dash on A, and then they immediately cancel back.
Ooh, no
man, dude, no way. Chemicals just hit that, man. Apart. Tens, they lose the op, but he at least has the Blade Storm. They've got little to no credits. Tens is gonna have to buy armor, and that's about all he can get going. Immortals, they could find 12 here, man. Sentinels, what a first map this is. I mean, again, I'm going to keep jumping back to is that game against NRG. This was not in any way how we expected this map to go. Sentinels, they had the opportunity to watch Immortals last game on Haven. I don't know what they learned, man, but Immortals have definitely learned something from a loss. They've adapted. They've overcome. We're tied 11-11.
I think the one effect has to be that attacking side. Immortals just look a whole lot more comfortable here on the other side of the map. Still on the defensive side, still picking up 5 rounds. Very efficient, to say the least. But the attacking side is just simply the side where they just didn't get a chance to sprout. NRG was on the front line really the entire time of the game. And, well, that was really all in their attacking side too. So, Immortals now taking up a more favorable spot. And they're taking up physically some favorable spots. A little bit of a default again. This time we're modified. One over towards the mid side. I do like that run it back. Getting up a little bit more info. JC standing on his lonesome. Stick down Shazam. Now they start to group up, Sully. This is a rare C take.
Yeah, it's just Dapper here. He's throwing his cage up to try and delay. They know where he is. He's got a dance, and unfortunately, it's a dance with death. Chemicals shuts him down. This is just sending knives right through the smokes, and nothing is connecting. 3v5. So many ults lined up. You have to imagine this is an Immortals dub. And Tens goes up. Last knife is out. Shot up having an awkward moment, but it should be all recovered. The Immortals, they find themselves 12 here, Gus, and my goodness, Sentinels on their map pick are back against the wall.
Match point.
Immortals now winning 3 rounds in a row after trading up almost every single situation in this half. You had 2 rounds from Sentinels, 2 rounds from Immortals. One round back for Sentinels, another round back for Immortals. So, I mean, this was just the crack through that Immortals needed. They just needed to crack through that economy and make sure these two teams were not on the same level by any means, that Immortals could just exploit what is some desperation plays at times, and indeed they're doing it. As we go into this very last round of regulation, round number 24, we need to see what kind of crazy ways that Sentinels can try to pull this back, as they have a petri dish of guns.
Sick. All alone towards that C side. They've decided to shift the camera or the sight for Dapper over towards this B area and lean pretty heavy towards the A side. I mean, they have a Hunter Siri. That is something to help them delay. JC Stani's knife doesn't connect to the head of Zombs. They're going to pull them in just a little bit off the gravel, but it's slow from Immortals. They don't want to overcomplicate things. They don't want to just rush in and unfortunately walk into a stack. They are taking their time, and I think it's a very, very smart call. Sentinels with the lesser guns. Cheeky angles allow for cheeky wins. And there's no one here on B, as Tens with a Vandal around the corner. It's the exit to go through.
JC standing with a double cloud burst. He puts one out immediately when he goes for the plant, but now they're expended. In comes the Hunter's Fury to really leave this in a state of disarray. It leaves everyone from Immortals scattering, and now the spike, I think, is in the control of Sentinels. Indeed he is. It's right in the corner. The Chemicals still coming up from behind, getting the kill. Dapper immediately taking it back right through the wall. Sentinels now fighting for overtime. All three players here on site. Immortals fighting it out bit by bit. You still have Rossi when they go back on 10s. Dapper needed that one, but still Zombs on the Spectre. One more, and Dapper gets it! 12-12. We're going to overtime in map 1.
Oh, what a way to close that round out, man. Sentinels, they had their backs against the wall, man. Tens does the dash. Tens pulls the bait. Dapper gets the kill on the judge. That is exactly what you want from the Sentinels. Immortals, they were so close. They had the better guns. They had the ultimate, but Sentinels, they persevere. They keep on pushing. Overtime here. And Immortals, what a way to start it off. Again, dude, this was not a map that I think anyone expected to find at 11-11 or even 12-12. What an insane series so far. And we're just getting started, Gus. This is only map number 1.
This is only map 1. This is the type of matchup that we anticipated, man. Again, it's two of the best teams in NA right now, but in such a fragile situation. Again, putting into perspective, these two teams were considered top 5, top 8 in North America. Now, both of these two teams, one BO3 away from not even getting close to Challengers playoffs. They're not even getting close to Iceland, dude. It hurts. It hurts a little bit to see one of these teams go, but that's been kind of the dog-eat-dog world in the last few weeks, especially with teams like Gen.G, especially with teams like FaZe moving out. Here we go, though, into our overtime. Sentinels sitting up on the attacking side. A couple of players in that mid side, and look at the A-link coverage. Wow. Double right behind this Nebula. Hot hands to try to cover up. Good gravity well. Still gonna delay a little bit of time. That Nebula is not gonna last forever. If I'm not mistaken, it's supposed to dissipate in just a couple of seconds, and indeed there it is. Oh. Sick barely makes his way into the back of set, but now his position is known. Aldron through, Sick with a wide peek off that flash, not able to take down Chemicals, and still full even strength. 5v5 off the retake for Immortals. In we go. Gangsta with a massive pick onto Tens. He tried to go for the pick, but right in the middle of a mosh pit. Dapper, Zogs both getting kills. Same thing with Gangsta. Now you still have a couple of players over towards the mid side. One right behind the Nebula. Spray through from Dapper right through, taking down the spike diffuser. While the last one remaining in a 1v3. Sick lines him up. 13-12. Sentinels have the advantage in trying to take this map away.
Dude, I love the tiny adjustments that Sentinels have made throughout this game, and that is one of them. Against Immortals, in that first half when they were on the attacking side, they took the B site. They learned their lesson. That round that they lost against Immortals on that B take, they completely conceded the site. Nobody stuck around, but in this round, they kept everybody close to the entrance, ready for a burst play straight into the site if need be. And man, Sentinels, that might just do it, at least for that first round. That's the attacking side. We still got the defense. Both teams, both of their success comes from the attack. And Immortals, they had a stellar attack, and Sentinels, can they close it out? Well, they've got ground, and they've got Tens on an operator.
Oh my god, look at this position, dude. Tens. He's just vibing here.
Yeah, and he's got Dapper to watch his window. This is perfect right now.
It's a little weird. It's a little weird to say the least. Because if this doesn't work, Tens essentially has to panic off of the call out from Dapper. Communication has to be so perfect in that sort of spot.
Right.
But not even needed. Tens goes back. And it seems like, again, it's that same theme. Yet another mid-battle. As, Immortals starting to make their way up. But a missed shot from Tens. Good hot hands to try to cover up Garage. Looks like Immortals are still aiming for that.
Yeah, it looks like this is going to have to be a C hit. I mean, you've already got Rossi worked up pretty far, but that Cypher utility, I think called maybe a little bit too early. It's just to allow Sick to cross back. That is a clever fake. They're going to think that he's somewhere in the back site, possibly just because of that blaze wall. And with Tens here, you surely don't expect Sick. You surely don't check this corner. And while he only is able to get one, it's allowed Tens to reposition again.
Okay, that cage doesn't go down. Rossi's still alive, but Tens waits a second, lines up his shot, almost a second. Now it's only chemicals and no man's land.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like,
True.
that triple setup is it's unfathomable to play against. Listen, the NRG game has been wiped from my mind because Immortals have just reset the board, and Sentinels, they've got an empty canvas to paint upon. It's a pistol around here, map number 2, Sentinels. They're kicking things off, and it's a wall that goes up very early from Immortals down towards mid.
Okay, that's gonna be a little bit of effect of it for the attacking side early on, using up that wall, essentially to allow them way more of a lane that they would actually expect. The Toxins is gonna be used up a little bit more so though. Rossi lining up one of his orbs. He's gonna be a 2-man crossfire, but a little bit too far away now. Shazam does have a one-way cage to try to work with, so yes, that util is being expended. Still not exactly panicking. Dapper gonna get pinged out right in the middle of sight. And, okay, Immortals, they're actually gonna commit to this as the full rotation goes on. Uh-oh, Snakebite in the backside, still gonna be sick. Over towards stairs, and Dapper chiming in on a couple. One more player remaining. JC standing in no man's land. And that's as solid of a pistol round that you're gonna get. Sentinels, they delay time on site. They end up getting the frags. The rotation comes in super, super quick, and they just end up capitalizing. Great stuff.
Yeah, Immortals struggled, I think, to flush out the key components, and then maybe they took just a little bit too long. Sick got that hot hands down. They used that gravel to delay, and Sick was able to reposition on the site. In that instance, if they aren't dropping those gravels, if they aren't dropping those hot hands, dude, Immortals have a clear-cut path in the site where it's only gonna end up being Dapper just sitting alone in the back of Boathouse. So Sentinels, like you said, delay time, cause a disruptance. They're looking strong here. However, unfortunately, I think Sick has got to buy, or maybe he's elected, I don't need a gun, and he's just gone for a classic. This is a round where Immortals decided to buy back just a little bit. An Ares and a Sheriff to battle up against. And it looks like Sentinels, it's 3 pistols and 2 Spectres. So I don't want to say that this round is Sentinels, because that Ares could tear them apart.
Yeah, that Ares could, in theory. In theory. Gangsta buying that up. It's bold.
Oh,
bold to say the least. And okay. Sick picking up one. Cloudburst covering up that mid side. And Sick still going for more of mid. And 10 snags down JC Standard. Chemicals now the last one remaining as 10s is starting to heat up. And Sick comes up from the mid side again. Sick, that's just such a good angle apparently that he's able to get 3.
Yeah, so apparently Sick had a ghost, and he was just trying to bamboozle us with that classic.
Yeah,
so
apparently.
Yeah, he ends up getting a 3K. You know, nothing big for the big dog Sick. He's going to be one off of that run it back now. But Immortals, like, a very light buy in that one. They're going to have the strong one back here. Looks like we have a little bit of a pause. Shot up to get his rifle. Everyone else is going to have rifles as well, except for Gangsta, who is vibing with that Ares. But Sentinels, off to a pretty hot start. Tens is going to force himself up an operator. It looks like Sentinels right now are looking to invest super heavy just to ensure themselves a pretty dominant lead. And I think they understand as well that Immortals, when they get to that defensive side, it is going to be worrisome going against the Viper.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you got to take as much advantage of these rounds as possible. Sentinels still going to be sticking up with a relatively weaker buy, except for Zoms and Tens, who have opted to fully invest into this round. That's I mean, I get it. Tens is very, very comfortable on that op. But if that pillar goes down, the bonus potential is almost completely swept away. By the way, folks, yes, this is a technical pause. We don't exactly know for what though, but we'll be back in the server ASAP. But as we do wait up I am a little bit scared, at least for that economic potential in the hands of Sentinels. It's weirder to really see that op coming out, the rifle coming out, but it just helps out your Spectres, and it helps out what would be just a stack on that A site. We were seeing something pretty spicy there.
Yeah, it feels like the Sentinels, it's going to be a lot of that pivot from Tens, that operator. We kind of saw a small sample of when Tens has that operator, right? He's going to be the one to lock down sites by himself, make that initial contact, get a peek, and then dash out, be able to recover, throw down cloudburst, delay for those rotations. So I think the key thing for Sentinels, they force up that very early operator. Mainly, I think, like we said earlier, is to shut down anything for Immortals, because again, when Immortals get to the defensive side, they have such a defensive composition. I would like to consider even maybe 3 Sentinels at a certain point if you want to consider Viper, the way that Rossi's been playing it, the way Astra's been used from time to time, like JC Stani's been playing it, sending stars across the map and activating them in support. So going up against 3 Sentinels, even with such a really good offensive composition with that Phoenix and Sick, it's going to be a pretty big struggle. So looks like, again, Sentinels, they're just trying to maximize the defensive rounds and ensure that there is no foothold for Immortals.
Potentially so. It did look like things were about to get unpaused, but we're just waiting out for the neutral starts. And indeed, both teams have agreed to unpause. In we go. Third round between Sentinels and Immortals here on Ascent. And it is going to be more scattered, Sully. Default going down.
Yeah, talk about an A stack that disperses immediately into a different play, but man, oh man. Shot Up, who is coincidentally named Reyna suddenly in the game. I think he's decided to turn on his streamer mode. Is going to find the first pick. So if you get confused, the Reyna is Shot Up. Sick goes down. I think he maybe wanted to get the ultra, but he's not going to be able to win that fight. That's the unfortunates of a defensive side on a set.
Oh, man. Yeah, usually we see streamer mode come out in like maybe 10 mans.
Yeah,
like,
pug games.
Yeah, well, definitely pugs. But I don't think I've ever seen streamer mode being used, actually while in live broadcast. Kind of weird. But in we go though. I don't really think that that streamer mode would have actually helped.
Oh.
Dapper around the corner with 3. Oh, Dapper line him up with the Spectres. Shazam through the Nebula, able to trade it out. Dapper, how do you get so many kills from logs? I wish my Spectre could do that, but even then, Gangsta now in a 1-on-3. So has to face on Shazam with an Odin, not with an Odin, with an Ares. Back over towards
30 seconds
Spawn.
left.
Still has a spike, barely any util, only has a shock dart to work with. Shazam with a couple of warning shots. You even have 10s waiting out in B main. I don't think they even know that he's logs.
I think they should know that he's here just because, again, Tens
no,
is kind of just sitting around. I mean, they don't know, but they know he's in this vicinity.
Now they do.
That's the biggest thing. It doesn't matter where he's playing. They just know the general area he is. He's looking for exits. If he can get the spike down, it would be a miracle. Yeah, no time on the clock. He just wants these exits.
Oh, it's not going to happen. No,
okay,
no,
very
it's
close.
It's not going to go down. He needs to stay alive.
Not close enough. Postman?
No, it's done, I think. No, it is done. It is done.
I thought he got it down like with
the overlay.
Yeah, I was like,
the overlay does disobey us at some points, but no, it's all good. Yes, the round is over. Tens had a massive opportunity at an exit at the very end there, but yeah, no, here we go. The gravity well combining up with a Spectre and no trade back from Rossi. And look at that, the vulnerability actually helping out. That's been a little bit of a hot topic too. Vulnerability being so potent in some of these rounds, and the Spectre just comes up big in that type of position.
Again, we're going to see the Ares coming out from Gangsta. Much more hefty eco buy. A Sick able to open us up until 110's missing his shot. Sick being pulled back by the grab well. Okay, he's popping off now. Dapper's even as well going to find one through a push. And, well, it's a nice cleanup here for the Sentinels. A 4-0 start. They thankfully will keep the majority of the players alive, it looks like, unless Shazam loses his life here. Bounce and shock dart, it's just chemicals. So Sentinels keeping 4 here. Minimal reinvestments, and they're going to have the cash rolling. They've got every gun they need, unless chemicals, again, can do some crazy things with this shit.
Chemical's not going to be able to find too much. It's really just economic damage. Trying to make sure that his opponents can't at least hold on to these rifles for all too long. And Chemicals going all the way back where he started. This is actually more back than most plants. I was wondering if you could actually fall off that platform, but
imagine you could.
Apparently not. He was having a picnic. Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a little brutal, Sentinels. You know, Chemical sets up a nice picnic, and you decide to send his body off the edge. You know?
Yeah, what the heck, man? That's so
It's not
mean.
cool. Okay, another tech pause. Hopefully, it's maybe to change the the streamer mode.
The
for
streamer
shot up.
mode.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But it does seem like maybe there are technical difficulties for shot up because he was the player that obviously changed the streamer mode, but was also frozen. So who knows?
Yeah. Something could have gone a little bit more awry, but it's probably... I don't really know if it is going to be that streamer mode. That's the issue, potentially ping or something of the sort, but we do have to wait out. Looking down at the stat line, 6 kills for both Dapper and Sick. It's not exactly that Sick has been like hard farming some of these rounds. He did have one where I think he got like 3 from the mid side.
Yeah.
Dapper had one though, of course, with the Spectres, but that's the most pivotal one. That was the bonus, at least back in the hands of Sentinels. But now they just have to continue riding this high. Riflery rifle again, but this is where Immortals started to fall a lot. They lost out almost 7 rounds in a row in map number 1 when their economy started to get volatile near the end of half number 1 of Haven. So they gotta stop this momentum, and they gotta stop it now.
Oh, Zom's taking a little bit more aggressive a position as the gravel ready to pull them towards him. Tens has to concede his B main positioning. It's a slow start for both sides, and there's an opportunity, but Rossi, so quick on that trigger, shuts down Zoms, and they lose their main smoker. They no longer have any support from that A site. It really comes down to the rest of these players, and Immortals starting to shift back towards middle. Maybe not necessarily a coherent A hit just yet. With a minute left, they have plenty of time to sort out what they want to do, and that Viper's Wall has given them a lot of options. It gives them the idea, or at least Sentinels, that they could be going back towards B mid, and with 6 spotting nothing, I think that's going to tell that this is going to be an A hit, so Tens is at the ready.
Here.
Tens has the aim, needs that first pick, but instead the Hunter's Fury not connecting.
No way.
Tens is still out and away. Watching out over towards Courtyard. There's still one. JC Stanley finally going to be able to spot him after he takes on Sick. And not only that, but a third. That eye ended up covering up Tens. Tens could have stopped that entire sequence. But instead, JC Stanley gets the frag, gets another player over and lower, and Shot Up continues it. It's a flawless round for Immortals, and it's the round to reinvigorate them.
Yeah, Tens was in such a rough position with no dash to get out after hitting a shot or missing the shot. He was kind of in that one and done position. He was banking on the fact that there was only going to be one coming up the catwalk, and that Sick, and I think it was Zoms as well, had his back on that A side. Apologies, it might have been Dapper. So it's a big gamble from Tens in that position, and it unfortunately just doesn't pay it out as maybe he would have hoped. So Immortals, they get their first round, and now look at the economy of Sentinels, dude. It's been a lot of pressure from the last couple of rounds, and now it's starting to mount where they don't have credits if they lose this for a bye, and Immortals, they've got a chance to bring it to a third, possibly. Third round, at least. Not a map yet.
Yeah. Let's see, bro. Let's see what the potential is going to be like even for an opportunity like that, because you still have a bit more disciplined of a round. I keep saying disciplined, but that's almost literally what it is. They're not going for any battles. Most of these Sentinels players staying fairly quiet, as it's Immortals starting to tempt a little bit of that pressure. Good fight for the ult orb, though. That is fairly big for this team to take up.
Right, and it's going to give Rossi and JC Stone an opportunity as well to work to kind of use these ultimates in tandem, right? You can drop the Cosmic Divide, allow yourself to get close with the Snake Pit or the Viper's Pit. Out of control, but this time it's a little bit different for Tens. He has an operator. He's got a dash, but he's going for a peek. He's looking around. He's looking up top, but he sees nothing. It's so quiet, but there's the pick, and there's the chance. He's going to reposition. Might get a little bit more, but the Cloud bursts out to try and hold them off.
Quick ping, but it's nothing on the sword. Still Tens reinvesting into that op into this round. They have to come up big, but that Blaze Roll right in the middle could heavily affect them, and indeed it does. Tens still up top. Readjustment, and from the top rope, he ends up taking down Gangsta. Same thing with Shazam. Chemicals, 1v3, essentially done for.
10 seconds left.
Great opening picks from Tens. That's the difference.
Whoa,
That's a little awkward.
Yeah, the
okay, alarm bot doesn't
awry.
work. Dapper. Yeah, there for that re-swing. I was gonna say Tens in a much more advantageous position, right? This time he finally has a dash in case he needs to. And that's the difference an operator can make. You get that first pick, and the whole offense kind of just falls apart in Immortals. That one kill that he got onto Shot Up slowed things down tremendously. And then Sentinels, plenty of time to adjust, even with that Blaze Wall maybe obstructing TenZ just a little bit. But very well done from Sentinels. They don't send Immortals back to a full reset, but they are nearing that potential as Sentinels find themselves up by 4.
This is a tipping point again. Not only can Immortals fall down to a 6-1 scoreline, but they can certainly fall down to a 7-1. Their economy still very fragile. Shocked our coverage. Zom still staying around. That Nebula is going to be there for quite a while. Nobody wants to touch that one way. They already have their battle for the orbs. Chemicals is on the other side of the map, though, over towards B main. He only needs one more for that lockdown to end up getting pressured. And he still is fighting up for B main. This is just early control from Immortals.
Yeah, Immortals are, I think, really hoping to try and pull players over, but with such quietness, it looks like it's actually done the reverse. Sick has decided to lean back towards B, and TenZ is already waiting with an operator. We normally see Gravel's try and flush that position out where TenZ is, so I don't imagine that he's going to be there for much longer. JC Stani walking his way up mid. There's a trip to keep him in check, but a Viper's Wall to allow him to cross back. It's a burst here. Lockdown ready for Chemicals as well, and a snake or a Viper's Pit if they need to play the post plant. Once they get onto site after flushing those players out, they're surely going to go for it. Lockdown in effect, and Sentinels have to concede the site entirely.
Yeah, they're out and away. Shazam is only 1 kill away from that Hunter's Fury, but still no dice. TenZ still fighting this one up. Launching out all of his knives. A snake bite is his landing pad, and he has to back away. The orb is still around, and now they have full control of sight. Immortals with the plant. Man disadvantage for Sentinels. JC Stanny is going to be the only person to try to cover up this area. Not only that, but the Viper's Pit ends up going up right on site. Zom's getting a kill. The Nebula's still up on JC Stanny. JC Stanny can't go for the peek just yet. Shazam still through. Don't really know if JC Stanny even wants to go for the spray just yet. He's just waiting for an opportune time. Everyone is over towards short. There's 2 players there, and there you go. Like I mentioned, JC Stanny coming in at a perfect time. Chemicals and JC combine for the last 2 in stairs. Well, not in stairs, sorry. Over in short lane, but now Shazam is the last one remaining in a 1v3, just going for exits now, Sully, as the round is won back.
It's got to be about exits here. You can weaken the economy of Immortals so much. He knows it. He knows it. He's only good for 1. Could have had the flick on the Chemicals, but it's 5-2 Immortals. A really well thought out execution. Once you evacuate that entire site, the Sentinels forced to concede. You throw that Viper's Pit down to have full control of the site and make the retake nearly impossible. Given the agents that Sentinels had left, it's so hard to clear a Viper's Pit like that on such a congested site like B. So Immortals, they're not going to be broke just yet. They've got plenty of credits now. It's Sentinels are the ones that have to suffer the consequences and kind of leverage a buy here with pistols. See what they can get from this one. It's up to Immortals to keep this one clean, as they are looking for their 3rd round. Take flight.
And again, that was the tipping point. Both of these teams are just around that reset. So, all right, they're chilling. They're fine for now. I'd like to assume at least Immortals just have to recoup at least a little bit of the economy. But that's a bygone factor. What comes down is the frag. Sick sitting up in cat and a little bit of a duo setup. You could have TenZ baiting out a little bit of pressure, just so you could have Sick once again, just trying to stay up in a 1 and done. Even though the lockdown was used just in the round before, Chemicals is already 3 points in. I do like the scattered approach, though, once again. Yeah. Kind of baiting out a lot of pressure from Sentinels. Nothing too crazy yet.
Yeah, it's a slow style from Immortals, and Sentinels, they've got no idea how to play this one. Obviously, you want to maybe leverage your numbers against a single rifle, so opportunity. Shot up. Could be up against 2 to 3, but nobody is going to swing. They're going to try and transition back. Okay, Sick is allowed access, and there's 2 players slinging, but no one shot up same. He's going to find TenZ. Too clean, too quick. Sentinels.
30 seconds left.
With no one on that B site. The spike will go down relatively freely. Yes, Shot Up loses his life, but it's just 1 rifle, and in the grand scheme of things against 4 of Immortals, I don't really think it's doable right now.
No, certainly not. Again, the best thing that these guys can pull off is probably just the exits. And look at the Viper setup off the post plant, dude. You still have the orb back in main, the wall covering up back in garage. I mean, that is foresight to a T. Oh, JC Stanny still picking up 1. Same thing with Chemicals. off the exit. You have Dapper in a pretty good spot, and they don't know it just yet, but they are going to go safely out of B main as their teammates go out at the same time. Ganks is going to run into the jaws of the beast. That's Dapper picking up a kill and saving up a rival into the next round. Same thing with his teammate Zombs, and Chemicals is gone. Their economy getting shipped down a little bit. Still around back for Immortals.
Sentinels, thankfully they're going to have the buyback here pretty confidently. Immortals with 3 on the board. And pretty clean, at least on these executions currently. Sentinels, they are definitely in a position where if you continue to drop rounds like that, it's Immortals that are going to definitely pull away with at least a 5-5, possibly. Like this round in particular, looking at the economy, thankfully Tens will have a little bit left over if he needs to, but Sentinels, too early grab balls, and Zombs is unfortunately going to get pulled into it. He's going to be exposed and vulnerable, but he is going to have to concede this area and give Immortals the opportunity to take this control where they can make a very quick first one.
This is the fastest that we've probably seen Immortals go, but look at the counter. Oh my, Shadow just runs through. Was dry. Nobody here on site to try to counteract it though. There goes that 100 Fury. Gonna be able to at least get a couple of pings, but not exactly the kills. Dapper Song both collecting some. Still down to the 2v3. Making it 2-1-2. Rossi stacking it up. Still has a snake bite to try to cover up Cat as in comes the owl drone. At least getting more information. Same thing with that recon bolt, and now all the action has just stayed steady. Oh my god!
Oh!
Tens! He still got it!
1v1?
50 seconds left! And Shazam gets it! Tens! The fire and the flames and the bites. He still gets it back, and Shazam closes it out. Wow.
Dude, that's no fire.
6-3.
That is no fire. That's no flame. That is literally just poison. He's
poison.
Not in his veins. He's cold-blooded. Look at this, dude. This is crazy. Dude, I cannot believe Tens had the confidence to take that peek, man. That is crazy. Sentinels, I think saved by the bell, literally, or saved by Tens actually, to take it 6-3. Dude, that is absurd, man. Immortals,
right?
That's a round that had to be yours in the bag, man.
Right, but that's just the end of the round. The rest of the round was still so volatile. I love the hold on the A site, stack up the bodies. Still had Shazam getting all that information. Just good patience, at least from the last two. But as we head into this round, it's yet another very fast take from Immortals. They're certainly setting up the tempo. Yeah,
and with this Astral Wall, this Cosmic Divide in your face, you can't try and swing. No, they're still gonna try and swing. Somehow Sentinel's finding 3. It's all a cleanup. Wow, dude, I thought that Cosmic Divide was gonna be it, man. Cosmic Divide up, and you've got no flashes to swing except for Sick, who's in heaven. I cannot believe they took that so cleanly.
Yeah, that was just the assumption. Mortals stomping their way through. Sentinels once again. Good call out in terms of the rotation. It came in as fast as they could. And again, that counter util just to delay as much time off that eventual take out of A main. But now going into this next round, we just have Sheriffs. Immortals are up against the ropes in terms of their wallets again. It's so unfortunate.
With Sentinels possibly going to be able to find it, this is more like it, I think, from Sentinels. Sick getting so aggressive towards B main. Owl drone's going to meet. Good info here for Sick. He's going to try and play around it. Great flash. It's a shutdown, though, by Gangsta. One can be retrieved, and yes, it certainly will. A 3v3 in. I mean, Immortals will have 2 guns here, but the HP, Tens not able to collect on the second. It's Sentinels who lose control of this entire site.
And Chemicals took mid at the same time. This is actually possible. Chemicals gets this plant.
Oh my god, he has a lockdown.
You're right. He gets a lockdown. He can delay so much time, but they're going as quickly as they can, so the Hunter's Fury could go in. Same thing with the Cosmic Divide. The Cosmic Divide is going to shut down the back of side, but even then the lockdown goes in, so they might as well just wait. 8 seconds left, and they cannot approach Sully. 5 seconds. Dapper, because of that Cosmic Divide, he has no chance of getting that. That is one of the major cons of the Cosmic Divide, it seems. But now as he goes in, still gets the kill! Oh! They could have waited just a little bit for that Cosmic Divide to go out, but it's comedic. Zombs and Dapper, after so much work, and just make it look easy off the 2v2. That's it, though. 8-3. One more round in this half. Immortals, they do have the bye, but off of the util usage, the ulti usage in that last round, looking a little bit more thin. Viper's Pit is live, though.
Viper's Pit live. Hunter's Fury ready for Immortals. We're looking for an 8-4. And I think the main thing here with not waiting for that Cosmic Divide is you want to jump in. If people are in the back of Boathouse, there's only one place where they could. There are only two places, right? They're going to be in the corners of the bomb site, or they're going to be in the back of Boathouse. And so Sentinels, they got it going nice, quick, and easy. We see here, oh my goodness, a double LMG. Doesn't get anything. As he said, Gangster's actually going to find the first kill. That's the main smoker. And Shotup's found an entry straight in towards Garden. He's looking for more as well. It's Sick that's going to go down. A quick entrance off one Hunter's Fury. And it looks like Immortals should have a fourth.
Oh yeah, the round is done. Still use up that Viper's Pit. Still use up that Hunter's Fury. They have every contingency plan known to ban.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Oh my, what are they? They're fighting? They're fighting for this? Chemical still goes and takes them back. And there it is. Viper's Pit still up. Shazam now in a 1v3. Can he make it possible? Indeed. It's a decent start. A Hunter's Fury. Didn't get all too much. Viper's Pit is live. Shazam certainly has to take his time. He has 30 seconds left on that Hunter's Fury. He can't even attempt to push it out. And Rossi, good spam. Right through the orb. Right through the Viper's Pit. 4-8 scoreline. And Immortals made it look a little bit easier in that last round.
I was going to say, at least in the last round. So Sentinels,
right.
they've maximized at least now as many rounds as they could get. Obviously, I think it would have been really nice to get the 9-3, of course, but have an 8-4 scoreline moving forward. It's pretty solid right now, at least for Sentinels. You have to imagine that now they have the idea of what Immortals are going to do, right? They know how Immortals play that Viper. They know where that wall is going to go almost every single round. But again, you're up against the essentially 3 Sentinels, as I like to call it. Astra, KJ, and based on how Rossi's been playing Viper, a 3rd Sentinel right then and there. So Sentinels, it's going to be no easy feat. Yes, they've definitely shown that they can frag really, really heavy. Sick has definitely come alive. Same thing with Dapper and Tens. The road is not done just yet. Immortals on the defense is a scary, I think, prospect to go against if you're Sentinels, and it needs to be proceeded with caution.
Very much so, as it's going to be a plethora of bodies stacking up this B site for both of these teams. Look at the amount of people in the middle of this.
What?
JC standing, not able to get anything, but still shot up, playing pivot on site. Thank you for watching. Rossi and Gangsta still playing up now in the 2-on-4. Zoms has to back on up. Rossi with a couple of taps. Zoms, Shazam, and Sick. Still the last few remaining. And Snakebite not going to be able to cover up too much. The spike does end up going down anyways.
Last player standing.
Oh, but Shazam takes down Rossi as he tried to go out solo. Sick goes down to 4 HP. Thank you for watching. Thank you for playing Immortals. 9-4.
All right. I get that it looked like Sentinels were going to win that pistol round, and that might have spelled doom for Immortals in the rest of the game, but we're not done just yet. We know Immortals, man. They like to make comebacks. They did it against NRG. They brought us to OT on Haven. Let's not count them out just yet, okay? Thank you for watching. Nah, we're still going. 9-4. Sentinels with that pistol round. They can extend this quite easily to 10. I mean, Immortals aren't looking to buy at all with 5 classics, minimal utility. Sentinels get to 10. And I think that's the scary prospect, and maybe where we can throw up the thanks for watching. Okay.
Quite a way to start, huh? JC Stanny popping out of the A-man area with the only sheriff that this team got.
Wow.
So, certainly got a whole lot. Oh, wow. Oh, man. Still 4-on-5. Most of Sentinels congregating the mid area.
Okay, let's bring it back just a little bit. Immortals, it's an eco round, but we know they can win Thrifties and Shot Up. He's got a whole lot of space. Zombs isn't even looking. 1 dink, 2-3 body shots, and there's a kill. Shot Up. He's going to back away. Gets the overheal. 150. He's chilling.
Apparently so. Apparently so. So still... that IO does give out a little bit of a, at least a little bit of a tick that there still could be someone over towards tiles. He's got to be careful, but he's backed up in B-man already, and he's trying to help out on the mid side. A is being targeted. 2 players in tree, and the pistols work again. Gangsta gets the optimal timing onto 10. Speaking of optimal timing, JC Stanny comes out in a great time. Dapper jumping, takes down JC. Shazam with a 180 round to Rossi. Dapper with a Spectre, just needs to hold down Chemicals. Chemicals is done.
Oh my.
Gangsta 1v2. Shazam, low. Spike is still down on the floor. Could be the trade back from Dapper.
Oh!
The right click from Gangsta hits to the dome of Dapper, but Dapper somehow is still alive. If anyone on that site, if any of the 2 battles that this man faced on site, Dapper would have been dead in that situation. If any of those interactions equalized in any sort of damage, he would have been done. That's how close that round went. It's the Pistols fighting back. Gangsta, quite the chance, but it's still going to be Sentinels on their back foot. Immortals have a massive chance to certainly make up a couple of rounds because of that economic damage.
Right, and Sentinels aren't going to force back completely. They're not going to have the best guns. I mean, Immortals have definitely got the favor in their side. 5 rifles against a very, very mixed buy. 2 rifles, 1 Spectre, a Bulldog, and a Judge. Great shock dart as well to take down both Tens and Sick to half HP. Now Sick is going to try to explode, but they don't check the corner. It's a great trade back from Zombs, but still an opportunity. Hunter Seer nearing completion, but Sentinels are slowed down thanks to the hot hands thrown by their own Sick. The snake bite out as well.
Obscuring vision.
Rossi in a good one and done spot. He's gonna get way more than that. Rossi takes an inch, makes it a mile, ends up getting 3 kills out of that one spot. So now Shazam alone on the A site. You have a person in tree, a person in cat. They're cross-fired. Chemicals is gonna end the interaction there. Immortals. They survived such a pivotal round.
Now that's going to put Sentinels with another eco round here. They can't really force up because that bonus round, or what could have been their bonus round, was made so costly by just pistols in the second half. And Immortals, the one and done from Rossi, brings them a little bit more life. 5 to 10. They could make this 6. Again, Sentinels will have the bye right after this round, but if Immortals can maximize, keep as many players alive in this round, you've got a position where you've got strong buys and you can continue to battle back against Sentinels. It's not a dire situation where Sentinels are already on match point. This is still super recoverable. Only a 5-round gap in MR13.
Oh, the Hunter's Fury doing a whole lot of damage, and Sick is there to try to capitalize.
Oh!
Gangsta! In the same spot where Rossi ended up getting 3. Gangsta almost does 1 better. Still getting 3, almost a 4th, but spots out both players. Shazam still remaining over towards A main. There's still 1 person on site. It's Dapper just trying to navigate his way through site, trying to get the spike down, but he goes down to Chemicals. Shazam has the angle, but Shot Up gets the trade, 6 to 10. Again, I'll say it about the economy. That's a whole lot of damage. These guys aren't exactly looking all too great yet. They're not out of the woods.
And you stole the words right from my mouth. Whole lot of damage. Immortals, reinvestments made, drop given by Shot Up, and yeah, that is gonna hurt, man. You gotta make another investment as well, JC Stani. Yeah, this is not a good look, at least for Immortals. You wanted to keep 3 there. Yeah, it's a nice, it looks like a clean round, but in actuality, you are suffering pretty hard because of that. So now Immortals, a round that is, I think it has to be won cleanly. Obviously you want the win, but it needs to be done. Rossi, we've seen him use Viper's Pits, and he's going to use it here towards A or B main on Ascent. He gets full control, and that's going to push Sentinels away. But unlike maybe when he uses it on Icebox, there are so many other options to rework back into the site, and it's 6 to entry here on A.
Sick entry. Tens cutting off rotation. Let's see it. Oh no, he actually gets shot down from behind by JC Stanny as he sits up in heaven. Same thing with Chemicals. Right, going down safe into Jenny. JC catching 1 right in the middle of gate. Dapper playing ring around the Rosie with Rossi. Rosie with Rossi. In he goes though, still just about 92 HP, but Dapper comes up from behind and takes down his entire HP with just a singular right click. Sentinels, they inch it away, but they had a lot of really cheeky ideas that almost came to fruition.
Yeah, Immortals and Sentinels both kind of battling back and forth, and now we're in an economic standoff. It depends who can have the cleaner round moving forward, and unfortunately, Immortals had that cash kind of left over built up, and Sentinels are going to be suffering. Blade Storm for Tens, everyone else is going to have either a Phantom or a Spectre. It's not a good look for either team. This is a very, very big swing round. Sentinels win this round. Immortals with no credits Immortals win this round. Sentinels with no credits and a chance to pull to 8 possibly. Now, Sentinels, it's a much more important round as it could be the closure to send them to the regional finals, but Chemicals could be the blockade as he has a judge right in their face.
Oh my god, there goes the judge. Oh, tens! Almost characteristic, almost trademark, going for a couple of right clicks, and gets more damage onto Rossi as the shock dart goes in. Tens is down, 3-on-3. JC standing from above, can't lock down his spray pattern, so instead now Shot Up has to clean this up long range with a Spectre kick and a dud. Gangsta now the last one remaining in a 1v2. He gets a whole lot of damage just off of the shock darts alone. All right, Zoms getting spotted but not getting pinged. Plant goes down in the front of Jenny. Now both players are playing right in the middle of sight. Dapper with only 14 HP picks out the middle 2 boxes and gets a headshot onto Gangsta to shut down the pressure. This is disaster scenario for Immortals. Just about 2.5k to 3k on all of their players. Sentinels needs 6 of these rounds. They get 6 of these next rounds to try to push their way into regional finals.
This is so I mean, what do you even say here for Immortals? Like you just said it, it's so bad. Such a tragic position to be put in. I'll be upfront about it. Immortals, they knew the economy position they would be put in, and they needed to win that round. Now Sentinels, another hit towards the A side. They're looking for the Cosmic Divide, or even the Hunters here I think would be a little bit more useful in this scenario. They're gonna get that going. Hot hands out very early on to try and give them a little bit of a gap, but Immortals, slow and steady. Sentinels cut the noise, and this is a position that Immortals, I don't think they could have fathomed themselves in on their map pick. Sentinels first onto the A site. Is that what it's all going to come down to?
Shazam! Picking up one. Rossi in that corner, he was able to get a whole lot of damage just a couple of rounds before from that one angle, but it's the conditioning. They're conditioned to check that angle from now on, and now Sentinels, they have full real estate here at the A site, but the rotation from Immortals is all too quick. They do have that lockdown. It's gonna shut down a little bit of pressure. The plan is still going in. Oh, but the lockdown, it goes down. The spike is gonna be able to go down. Psalms and Tens combined. Shut Up now, the last one remaining in a 1v5. Gets a kill in heaven, traded out by Tens. And Sentinels, their road of redemption has finally led them into Challengers playoffs. They take down Immortals 2-0.